clients believe that they can do it all by themselves, right? And they think it's simple, and they have very little of an idea of like, hey, what does it take to actually make a website, right? Which I completely get, because from a business standpoint, right, you should be prepared to do every single little thing in your business, which are great things to do, right? And I am always for telling clients, hey, listen, if the system you're trying to build is not too complex and it's not too big and it's not too crazy, then yes, try out Wix. Try out something that can help you get your system running as soon as possible. Throw it out there and make it run. I am on your side, right? But I think that the accessibility or the projection of accessibility that the internet is giving to business owners, to freelancers, is completely wrong. It's completely wrong. And I think they going to get you into this place where you're going to just hit a dead end, and it's going to hurt you in the long run, because you're like, so much wasted time. And in the space where you're actually running your own business, time is everything, right? So you don't want to waste so much time building these systems when you know that your system's going to probably be complex and it's going to have functionality that's like outside of your scope of knowledge, or it's going to take too much time to learn, and it's not going to really help you get other clients, right? If it's not going to help you in that way, if it's not going to help you get another client, right? Or if you are never going to use that skill outside of just your little box, like, I'm just going to make my website and I'm going to learn all these complex skills just to make my website, then it's just not worth it. So what you actually have to think about, right, when thinking of building your own website is like, hey, how complex is my website? What do I need to know, whether like in terms of my website, my own website, complex or not? There's also like this space where it's like, hey, I still need to know what's going on with my website, so that even if I get somebody else to do it for me, right, I need to know what I have to ask that person. I need to know how to check the KPIs on his side, right? I need to know where I should intervene and where I should actually leave it for him. So this is something I'm rushing through it because I've been actually wanting to do this for my clients. You know, there's so many times where I go in and I sit down with a client, I'm speaking to them, and they telling me what they want, and I'm telling them what I can offer. And then there's a little gap in knowledge, and we're both trying to cross the river, but there's no bridge. So the first thing that I want to take out of any business owner's mind is the fact that a website is not a PDF. It's not a document that you're just putting on the internet. A lot of clients have this idea that, hey, it's a page, right? We're going to have a 5-page website, a 3-page website, a 17-page website. It's just pages. We're just adding on pages, right? And I think that in effect is destroying your ability to communicate your needs correctly to the web developer, right? It really is, because now what's going to happen is you're going to say, hey, I want my page to have these functionalities. Well, if it's just the page, how does it have those functionalities? If it's just the page, how is that little icon there just moving? If it's just the page, why are there things that disappear and things that reappear, right? Because so much more is happening on that page than what you think. I think one thing that you might have heard of is static pages and dynamic pages, right? There's some pages that are static, there's some pages that are dynamic, right? Some pages where things move, some pages where things don't. There's some pages that have functionality. There's some pages that have animation, some pages that have 3D objects, right? And even the way the 3D is integrated, right? There's some applications that can integrate huge 3D systems. Then there's some applications that can't integrate those 3D systems, right? So that's why you need to know what's needed on your side. Are you someone that needs a static page? Are you someone that needs a dynamic page? Are you someone that needs 3D integration? Are you someone that doesn't? How much functionality do you want? What do you want for your website? And then I know this is very complex and it sounds very complicated and you just want to run out. Don't. I'm going to make it simple. That's the point of this video. I want you to remove the idea of pages in your mind. I want you to remove all the ideas of everything that you might think a website is, right? And I'm going to restructure your idea of what a website is today. Just like that, instantly understand so much more of what you're asking for from a web developer and what you need for your business. Okay, so a website is a house. Yeah, you heard me right. It's a house, right? That's why they call it digital real estate, right? That's not actually why they call it that. For today's purposes, that's why we're going to call it digital real estate, right? It's an actual house. So what people see, what people see, the things that we call pages, is actually the outside of the house, the outside of the building. You know, some buildings are painted gray, some buildings are painted yellow, some buildings have windows on the side, some buildings have roof, some buildings have zinc just at the top, some buildings have a pointed roof, some buildings have a flat roof, some buildings have little trinkets on the side of the house to make it more appealing to people that walk in. Some buildings, some houses have flowers on the side that like grow onto the building, right? But that's what a website is, right? So when people look at your website, that's what they see. That's what they see. This helps you understand, okay, so I'm building a website, right? Which is a digital house. I want a house, right? Online, right? That attracts people. I want people to come into my house. I want people to interact with me. I want people to interact with my business. I want people to interact with my people. I want people to communicate with my family members that live in this house, right? This digital real estate, right? So the outside, the outside is beautiful and it's made in a certain type of way, right? But then there's the inside. And inside a house, there is a room that deals with security. There is a room that deals with communication. There is a room that deals with linking across sites. There's a room that deals with SEO management. There's a room that deals with pop-ups. There's a room that deals with migration, with any of that type of stuff. There's a room that deals with selling. There's another room. So there's many rooms, right, inside the house. So you have to ask yourself, in terms of functionality, how many rooms do I want? Inside the house, I want people who deal with communication. Therefore, I need a contact form on my website. I need a contact form because I want it so that when people come to my house, they can communicate with the people that are inside, right? And that's something that I just naturally, standardly do. And I believe a lot of people do it, where you need a form of communication on your website, right? So when people come to my site, they can communicate with me. If you're selling products on your website, when people come to my site, can they buy things? How can I create a room where people can see, I can showcase what I sell inside my house, inside my protected, guarded house, right? So we might have a room with just windows, and then in that room you have all your products showcased so that when people come, they can't break in, but they can see through the windows and they can say, oh, inside that house there's these shoes, there's these perfumes, there's this earphone. That's a room where the marketing is done, right? That's a room where the production is shown, basically. So that's one aspect of it. And the functionality, you should think about the functionality as rooms, right? And this is actually very important because a lot of times I have clients, I'm sure a lot of web developers have clients, where they come and they're like, hey, I want one page, but I wanted to do this and 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 this. And then you're like, okay, that's fine, but it's gonna cost you this much. And then they're like, but why is it gonna cost me that much? It's only one page. And I'm like, that in essence, if you had to think about it, would be a very, very slim house. A very slim house, right? And in this very slim house, people can only see one side. People can only be attracted by how beautiful this one side of the house is, right? And when they're attracted, inside the house, there's many rooms, right? With so many people in the background doing 20,000 things, selling, distribution. There's another room where people are contacting, communication. There's another place where people are doing sales. There's another place where people are doing marketing. There's another place, etc. And you have this office, this your real estate, right? Where people are active, but it only has one page. And then I'm like, hey, that's gonna cost you a lot. And now you're like, okay, I'm sure this is starting to make sense now. Like, okay, well, if I have a one-page website and it's doing 20,000 things, it's probably gonna cost $20,000, right? And then we go into situations where people are like, oh, I want a website with 20 pages, but all the pages mustn't do anything dramatic. I just wanted to say something. No movement, nothing. I just want to display the page, right? That is essentially like having a house that's empty, but it's very beautiful on the outside, right? And that's okay. And in a situation like that, you should actually be priced lower. But because of the mentality of most clients, you can imagine that most web developers will be like, oh, you want a lot of pages? Then I'm going to cost you, that's going to cost you a lot, right? That's going to cost you a lot. And this is why I'm actually making this video. It's for you to let you know, not only like a single page website that's doing like 10,000 things is going to cost you a lot. A multi-page website that's doing relatively little bit of things should not cost you that much, right? You shouldn't, well relative, right? Because it's still a lot of work that can be like, how can I say, it's still a lot of work, but relative to the one page, this single page shouldn't in essence cost you that much, just for the fact that it has multiple pages. And that's something that I just want to say. And you shouldn't, a lot of people, and this is what's actually chasing, I think, so many clients to just do things themselves, because they're like, well, if it's going to cost me that much, but I can go to an AI tool and build my own website, or I can go to Wix, or I can go to all these different places, why wouldn't I just go there? And the answer is, it's not supposed to cost you that much. Yes, go to somebody else. Don't, it does not mean that you have to go and build it yourself, right? But go to somebody else. Go find someone else that's pricing different. Go find someone else that understands this. And you know, another thing is that sometimes you have to showcase to the web developer that you understand this. And when they see that you understand this and you speaking the same language, I promise you the relief that you will give them. Because I think it's also really hard on their side. You have to imagine, like, it's really hard on the side of the web developers, because they come from this space where they can't explain all of this to you. They don't have this model that I just shared with you, and they have all this technical jargon that they're trying to communicate with the client, and they don't know how to do that. So then they go, okay, well, I guess it's a one-pager, so I'll give you the discount for the one-pager, even though it's doing 10,000 things. Understand this and let them know that, hey, listen, I understand that the website is a house. The website is a house, and I'm trying to introduce people into the house. and I need the website to do this function, this function, this function, this function, right? How much are you going to charge me? Not only for the beautiful look of the outside, because that does come at a cost, right? Like, you can't have a website that just looks ugly and then another website that looks stunning and think that just because it's still a page, it's still going to cost the same. But no, yes, charge me for the beauty of my surroundings, but also I understand that there is a charge for the installation of this room and this room and this function and this function, right? Understand that, and you will give them so much relief, because then you're not speaking technically, but you're speaking in their language. You will sound as if you understand. There's a level of the language that you understand. There's a translation that you understand, and they'll be able to translate that knowledge to you as well. So yeah, I hope this does you wonders. I hope this changes your interactions with web development, web devs everywhere. And for the web devs that are also listening to this, I just want to say, teach your clients this, teach them this. It will help you, it will help them in the long run.